In this section, I will explain how Newton would have described the relation between a reference frame and the conclusion he would have made about the motion of light rays. Newton's basic postulate would have been that there exists a universal time, the same in all reference frames. Let's begin by ignoring the y and z direction and focus entirely on x direction. We will pretend that the world is one-dimensional and that all observers are free to move along the x-axis but are frozen in the other two directions of space. So the figure might be like this. So this figure follows the standard convention in which the x-axis points to the right and t-axis point up. This axis describes the matters tick and clocks in your frame. The frame at rest in the lecture hall. I will arbitrarily refer to your frame as the rest frame and my frame as the moving frame. We will assume that in your frame, light moves with its standard speed c. A diagram of this kind is called space-time diagram. You can think of it as a map of the world, but a map that shows all possible places and all possible time. If a light ray is sent out from the origin, so this is the origin, moving toward the right, it will move with a trajectory given by this equation. X equals ct, and if this chart, it will look like this. So this is light ray, x equals c times t. Similarly, light ray moving to the left would be represented by x equal minus ct. So if moving to the left, a negative velocity just means moving to the left. In the various figures that follow, I will draw them as if my frame is moving to the right, v positive. As an exercise, you can redraw them for negative v. So this is me. Yeah. Where I move with velocity v. But in my reference frame, I'm not moving. So, the light ray is shown as a dashed line. If the unit for the axis are meters per second, the light ray will appear almost horizontal. It will move 3 times 10 to the power of 8 meters to the right while moving vertically by only 1 second. But the numerical value of c depends entirely on the units we choose. Therefore, it is convenient to use some other units for the speed of light, units in which we see more clearly that the slope of the light ray trajectory is finite. Now, my frame moving along the x-axis relative to your frame with the uniform velocity v. The velocity could be either positive, in which case I would be moving to your right, negative, in which case I would be moving to your left, or zero, in which case we are at rest relative to each other. And my trajectory would be a vertical line in the figure. I'll call the coordinates in my frame x axis and t axis, or express the s prime and t prime instead of x and t. The fact that I am moving relative to you with a constant velocity implies that my trajectory through space-time is a straight line. So this is my trajectory, which is this is equal Vt, and or can say that x minus Vt equals 0. V is my velocity relative to u. How do I describe my own motion? That's easy. I'm always at the origin of my own coordinate system. In other words, I describe myself by the equation like the one that I already wrote. X prime equals 0. The interesting question is, how do we translate from one frame to the other? In other words, what is the relationship between your coordinates and mine? According to Newton, that relationship will be T accent equal with T X accent equal with X minus Vt. It's easy to show. Let's say there is this even over here, yeah, in X reference frame. So this even will be X minus Vt to the X accent. So the first of this equation is Newton's assumption of universal time, the same for all observers. The second just shows that my coordinate x prime is displaced from your coordinate by r relative velocity times the time measured from the origin. From this, we see that the equation x minus Vt, so this one, and x prime equals 0 has the same meaning. Yeah. So these two equations comprise the Newtonian transformation of coordinates between two inertial reference frames. If you know when and where an event happens in your coordinates, you can tell me in my coordinates when and where it happens. So if we invert the relationship, the result is t equal t prime and x equal x prime plus Vt prime. Now let's look at the light ray in this figure. According to assumption, it moves along the path x equals ct in your frame. How do I describe its motion in my frame? I simply substitute the value of x and t from this equation, yes, into the x equals ct. And I get x prime plus Vt prime equals ct prime, which we can rewrite in the form that x prime equal c minus v times t prime. Not surprisingly, this shows that the light ray moving with velocity c minus v in my frame. Now this spells trouble for Einstein's new law, the law that all light rays move with the same speed c in every inertial reference frame. If Einstein is correct, then something is seriously wrong. Einstein and Newton cannot both be right. The speed of light cannot be universal if there is a universal time that all observers agree on. Before moving on, let's just see what would happen to a light ray moving to the left. Yeah. In your frame, such a light ray would have the equation like this. So, moving to the left. It's easy to see that in my frame, the Newtonian rules would give in other words, if I am moving to your right, a light ray moving in the same direction travels a little slower with speed, this one, c minus v. And a light ray moving in the opposite direction travels a little faster with speed c plus v relative to me. That's what Newton and Galileo would have said. That's what everyone would have said until the end of 19th century, when people start measuring the speed of light with great precision and found out that it's always the same. Same. Yeah. From experiment. No matter how the inertial observer moves, the only way to reconcile this conflict is to recognize that something is wrong with Newton's transformation law. This one. We need to figure out how to repair this equation so that the speed of light is the same for both of us.